Today we are going to be showing you how to make your very own homemade spinner. Now you can do a couple of things. You can actually take a blade off of an old spinner like that one. That's a Panther Martin blade. See that? And you just put beads on, and we'll show you how to do that in a minute. And you salvage all the salvageable parts of the spinner, and you just cut the shank and you take it. So this one's from a Blue Fox of Vibrax with beads on there. And you can even do a little different thing. You can dress the hook like that one with a fly tying kit or something. You can tie feathers on. See that? Looks nicer. Looks like a fishtail. And this one we actually made completely from scratch. This one we bought this blade at a tackle store, this Colorado blade, and all these beads. And we also wanted to show you a little quick tip. See if you want to salvage a blade and it looks a little old and ragged. See the back of that one? That's what it looked like. You can actually take glitter and nail polish.
Clear nail polish.
You put clear nail polish on it, you put glitter, and you put another clear coat on it, and it is totally shiny and new. Look at that. And you can dress the hook too if you want. Or you can even get creative with your spinners, and you can do this kind of thing. And this is a blade that we got at the store, the tackle store, and we just put a bead and a swim bait, and that's really it. And see, it looks like a little fish swimming through the water. So is that one.
That's
a little curly tail fish jig. See that? And you can just, you bend the wire to fit that. But today we're just going to show you how to make the simple one, which would be kind of like this one right here, but with no dressed hook. So just the beads. We'll show you how to do that, and it's very fast and very easy. Now what you're going to start with, this wire. This is about 5 to 7 inches of wire. And you'll take that, and you'll need a good sturdy pair of pliers like these. See, this is a good strong pair of pliers because you're going to be bending a lot of wire. And then we're going to take this is called a clevis, and a blade. And then here's your blade. Clevis is a little C-shaped piece of metal with 2 holes going through this way. So you can slide it onto the wire like that. And that'll hold your blade onto the shank. And we're also going to take a few glass beads like these, larger glass beads, and we have some smaller plastic beads for we'll show you about that in a minute. Tapering the body, that's what it's called. And we're going to start with taking these. I'm going to take a green and a red one. Red, green, just like that. And so there's your little beads. And we got all this stuff, by the way, these beads and the blades. We got all these different blades and different beads like this. We got them from a $10 walleye rig making kit. So it's for making walleye rigs, but works great for making your homemade spinner. See that? It's got all your different color beads and your different blades. So you can do all kinds of stuff. We have Colorados, Indianas, and smaller Indianas. And today we're just going to use the Fire Tiger Indiana blade, the larger one. So, let's get started, shall we? We're going to take our wire, if I can grab that. Take our wire, and we're just going to do a bend like this. Very simple bend, sideways like that. And then you're just going to wrap the wire around the pliers. You see what I'm doing here? Wrap the wire around the pliers, just like that. And then there's your eyelet. It's very large, but it doesn't seem to matter. I've made plenty of large-eyed spinners, and it totally works fine. So there's your eyelet. It's a little crooked looking, but you can always fix that later. See, there's just a little bend, and we fixed it. Now you're going to take the eyelet and the pliers, and just bend wraps around. You can do a couple or just one, and it doesn't matter as long as you hold it there. So see that? And now we have a completed eyelet, and it's a little crooked, and like I said earlier, we can always fix it later. And you can make it round, you can bend it straight like that, and it's totally fine. It looks great. See? It works totally fine like that. Now we're just going to clip our excess wire like this, and then we can bend the rest of it downward. Oh, there's another piece. That makes it even easier. So you just want to do that. You do little uniform wraps on the very end of your eyelet. See that? And then there's your completed eyelet. Now, the first thing you have to put on the first piece, is your blade, because that's at the top and that's going to spin. So we're going to take the blade, and we take our clevis, the C-shaped piece of metal, and this is a very important part. See that? And you have to insert it through the blade hole at the beginning before putting it on the spinner. Let's see if I can do that with my fingers. There we go. See that? It's inserted through there like that. Now we're going to take this C-shaped piece of metal, and like I said before, it has two holes going through this way. So guess what those holes are for? It's for putting the wire through. We put the wire through here, and you have to make sure it's on the right way too, facing down like that, and you slide all the way to the top. There you go. That's your first step. Put the blade on. Now we go with our body, and like I was talking about before, you want to try and taper the body, which means you do smaller beads like these, and then you do the bigger ones like these glass beads here. So this blade's a little long. For proportions for the blade, I would make sure that the body is about the length of the blade, and the blade can always be longer is better if you're just doing a simple spinner like this one. So I think I'm gonna do red first, and you can do whatever order you want, any colors you want. Red first, and then I'll do a large clear bead like that. I'm just making this up on the fly. And a red one like that. And see, there's a bigger part, so we have to go smaller again. We have to taper it. We have to go big, small, big. Small, big, small, I mean. Small, big, small. Tapered. You'll put the plastic green one on there. See that? And now we have our tapered body, which will allow the blade to spin easier on the blade, or on the shank. And now we're at our final step, which is putting the hook on. And I'm going to take a Mustad size 10 hook. I'm just going to bring that over here. And now what I'm going to do is just like how we did the eyelet. We're going to bend the hook eyelet, or whatever you want to call it, on. Oh, forgot to tell you, you have to make sure you have plenty of space here. You have to leave like a half an inch to an inch on that part of the shank. Half an inch to an inch. Kind of like a MEP spinner. Those are really long usually. So you leave a lot of space, and that helps the blade spin as well. So I'm going to leave that space, and I'm going to mark this spot like this, and then I'll do my bend, just like before. Do my bend. Bend, wrap. And then we take our hook and slide it on here. Slide it on this part. Just like that. And I just inserted it over the straight part, and I slid it onto the circle part. See that? So there's our hook eyelet, just about finished. Now I usually pinch it this way with a strong grip. Pinch it this way, and you're going to do your wraps again. You need strong fingers for this. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult with your thicker wire. See those uniform wraps? See that? You see that up close? That's how it's going to look. And now that's probably enough. I'm just going to clip it right there. Now we have our hook attached right at the bottom, and we can straighten the circle a little bit to make it more circular, and you can always do that later if it gets a little rugged. So that's basically it, and there's your completed spinner. See that? There's your hook right there, and your tapered body and your blade. And you can always, before going to the lake, you can always take this and just fill your bathtub and tie a fishing line onto that and run it through your bathtub a couple times and make sure it works. I hope I helped you out, and I hope you can make a lot of spinners and catch a lot of fish. Now, this is our first video, so I'd like you to just please leave some comments and tell me how it went. Comment, subscribe if you need to, if you want. And, well, till next episode, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.